good evening, or whatever time of day it is where you're at the time of watching this. This is another episode of The Truth Is, and I am your host, Peyton 3.0, the EDM and drum step vocalist Zombie Supreme. But today, in this special series, we're going to be talking about monogamy. And we're going to be talking about the fact that it's not natural, but not just the fact that it's not natural for a couple of heterosexual people, like a man and a woman, to stay together and for, I don't know, you have heard in your life some old couples talking about, we've been together for 40 years and whatever. And you might go, oh, I want that. I'm jealous of that. I can't keep none of these boys, they ain't worth nothing. Or vice versa for you guys, that think of girls the same way, or whatever your experiences have been, is that you don't have the whole story most of the time of those older people who have stayed together. It wasn't all peaches, candy, and roses. Usually people who stay together that long into their old ages and they met like in their 20s or whatever, they probably broke up, got back together, or if they did break up, got back together, there was definitely some infidelity, there was definitely some major fights. You know that the man cheated, because like I said, in the nature of men, and I'm a man, in the nature of men, is to literally not be monogamous. Like, it's not something you can just consciously think yourself out of. There may be a few of you men out there who can be monogamous easier than most, but for most men, that's not the case. And so they do go off and they cheat and they have these side chicks and all that, and then it gets back to the girlfriend or the wife, and there's fights or whatever, and monogamy is hard, right? I don't really truly actually know why society pushes this monogamy bullshit, because to do monogamy, you have to really be ready for that, and you have to be ready for that kind of commitment. And especially when you're younger, in your teens, your 20s, maybe some girls are ready for that, or women in general. Maybe you guys are ready for that. Maybe. But at least for most men, they're not ready for it. They're young. We're young at that point. We're hormonal as ever. Our bodies work different. We want to fuck everything that's around us that we can, that attracts us. It's going off down there. And monogamy is not easy for young boys to 20-something-year-old men, more than anything, right? And so even though they may love you, love is not enough for them to not go have sex with the next young thing running around that they see, right? It's not enough, because they can't override their eternal hardware that is set up to work the way that it's set up to work. And it's been that way for thousands of years since we've been on this planet, right? So monogamy is not something to aspire to, the whole getting married thing for you women, and even some of you men who dream of this glamorous, glorious wedding, like, and all this other stuff. It's not something to aspire to, because marriage is not a fairy tale, right? Marriage and being together in a monogamous relationship is not a fairy tale. It's work. and knowing that love is just not enough. Love has never been enough for any kind of relationship, whether it's friendship, sibling, brothers and sisters. Love is just not enough to keep you from beating each other's head in. Love is not enough to keep the side chick out the conversation or the bedroom. Love is not enough. Okay? Love has never been enough to keep a friend from fighting with each other. Love is not enough. Okay? It takes more. It takes work. And you have to really want monogamy in order for you to actually keep monogamy for years and years to come with that one person. That one person. And that's just hard for a lot of men to do because it's not really in men's nature to do. This has nothing to do with how we're environmentally socialized or whatever to be in monogamous relationships, because our internal hardware will always win against what we consciously want to do. Period. And it always has, and that's the way it's always going to work. We cannot override the majority of the hardware that we have. We can't do it. You know? It takes a lot of work for us to override our internal hardware. So it takes a lot of willpower for us to overpower that. That it's just easier to go with what the hardware wants. It's easier. So a lot of people give into it. Right? It's hard. It's very, very hard. Monogamy takes discipline. Monogamy takes really wanting to be with that one person, despite the mistakes you may make, despite the having sex with the other person that's not a relationship. It takes so much work. You have to really, truly, truly want it. It's not enough to want to be in this fantasized relationship with a man, or a man wanting to be with a woman, because there will be trials and tribulations in your relationship, and a lot of people will not make it. And you will have numerous girlfriends and boyfriends over your lifetime, right? Or getting married and divorced and all that other stuff, whether you believe in divorce or not. It's a reality, right? And anybody that stays together like a Will and Jada, whatever, because they don't believe in divorce or whatever, you see how that's working out for them, okay? Despite what they tried to picture, they tried to paint for, you know, the masses, us watching them. There's a lot of trouble behind the scenes for a lot of reasons, right? I think when it comes to having children, for the men that are going to be responsible and not just have sex with a girl and walk away, whatever, that's a different story. We're talking about monogamy here. When it comes to children, and you got, and both parents, male and female, are committed to raising those children, what would be more plausible and realistic would be to set up a mutual partnership to raise those children. You don't have to live in the same house or whatever, you know, whatnot, obviously. You want to have your own lives and go to explore your own, you know, other people and things like that. But have an arrangement where you can come under one roof and spend time with the kids, enough time where the kids can really get a feel for you, that you know you're there. And that's easier said than done, because with the kind of capitalist world that we have, a lot of us are working more than ever. So whether you're a single parent or not, usually both of the parents are working like hell, both male and female. Because for most households, The female just being at home, taking care of the kid, washing dishes, cleaning the house, those days for most females are over. There were some females that subscribe to wanting to do that, but for most people, they are working. And yeah, there's some of you that are working from home. But the thing is that it's not a dream for you because you have to actually still be working instead of sitting at home just taking care of the kids. You actually have to be producing that income for a lot of you, and you may not have enough employees or automated systems yet in order to take a lot of the workload off of you for a lot of you. You know, so when it comes to having children, and it's better to set up a well organized, and if you guys can't do it yourself, go see somebody, okay? that would be great, like Planned Parenthood or something, I don't know, that can help you to set the situation up so that both of you and your kids' life, like, get really planned, really organized the best as you can, because ain't nobody perfect. You may be a hot mess when it comes to all of that, but at least you're making an effort, right? But all I have to say, monogamy is beautiful, but not in the fairy tale sense. It's only in when you have the reality of what monogamy actually is and what kind of real work it takes, and not a fairy tale vision of monogamy that has been cast over almost all of us, especially in a country like any developed world like the United States or countries that mirror it, right? For years and years and years, where polygamy is more natural and more real, especially when it comes to men, right? That's more natural in that nature, at least when it comes to men, right? And so and also a lot of you females seem to have this fairy tale version of when you want of men and in this commitment you expect them to have to you. When the truth is, a lot of you females don't really even get men and the hardware of men. And until you females can get a realistic picture of what a man actually is inside and out, the hardware, everything, you will always be disappointed when it comes to this monogamy fantasy that you have. So it's about setting up realistic pictures and not what you've been environmentally socialized to believe, because it's just a really bad cycle for a lot of people, right? So monogamy is not something that is a natural part. It is something that needs to be worked on, and you really have to want it in order to work on it despite the challenges that will face you. Especially for somebody who's in their old ages with the same person talking about they're together for 40, 50 years. That sounds beautiful in the fact that they've been together that long, but they had to go through many trials and tribulations and want to keep themselves together because the love was there, but they obviously knew that love wasn't enough, or else they wouldn't have made it that many years together. They had to work on it. They had to go through the trial tribulation. They had to go through a lot of shit just to be together for that long. But truth is, many people, especially in today's world, are not ready for that. It's getting even harder. But that is literally my honest take based on the real research that I've done on us as human animals in between both of the sexes. That monogamy is not a fairy tale thing to be thinking of. That polygamy is actually more natural, especially when it comes to men. And it's better to have a healthy view of a relationship than this fairy tale commitment, right? So that you can plan better. So that society as a whole can plan better. If monogamy is something that you really want, if it ain't, just be honest up front and stop with this societal expectation. It needs to die with the grandparents, okay? The boomers, Generation X, it needs to die with them. Us as millennials, Generation Z, Generation A, need to turn all that shit off and turn around. This has been Peyton 3.0, the EDM and drum step vocalist always supreme. Now, if you are actually into EDM at all, you know, if you don't know what EDM is, well, this is not. This will not be for you. What's coming up next, okay? Because people who are true fans in the community would know what those acronyms stand for, okay? Then I want the people who are into EDM, who are not my loyal fans, who follow everything I do, to subscribe to all my social medias. Yes, but for those of you who maybe you were just into this particular topic, you may be into me to one social media, or subscribe to the channel just for the Truth Is series, if nothing else, because this is like a one-off spin-off that's not usual for my content and my branding, but this is just another side of me that I decided to include on the channel for a lot of stuff and knowledge that I've acquired in my 37 years of living on this planet and being in existence. So, anyway, sessionslive.com for everybody. Everybody come to sessionslive.com, follow me. This is where I get to come and sing live, and you get to pick your favorite song for me to sing to you live, and we have a good time, and it's really gamified, it's really fun. Come create your avatar, you know, get a little screen name, and let's have a good time. Well, all right, I am signing off, I am signing out. Monogamy is a piece of work. Oh, and there's probably a handful of you that watch my videos, but you don't ever comment or press a like button or anything like that. Actually interact with me. Press that like button, comment, share if you like the things you've heard. Let's build some real community in here. You know, we could be cool people, yes. But don't just sit there, watch the video, and then go away. I want you to actually interact. Press a like. If you don't like it, press the thumb down. That still algorithmic work. That tells YouTube something. Instead of just coming to watch and do nothing, YouTube's just like, well, we don't know what to do with these videos or this channel. Actually comment, like, don't like, share, don't share. Say something, even if it's negative, in the comment section. Whatever. Let's have a discussion. Bye-bye.